Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting up the good units versus the evil units to see which one is better, and this time we're just going to be putting them straight up against each other. So how this is going to work is we're going to put each unit first. It's going to be a 1v1, then we're going to do a little bit more of armies, and of course we're going to do it in a best of 3. So let's just start this up and I'll kind of show you how this goes. So yep, so that's the first battle. Now we gotta have a second one, or the third in case the Shadowwalker somehow wins this. Because you can never be too sure, but this time, yes, the Devour Gauntlet did win. But now we have to make sure that this is an army-sized battle, so let's just go ahead and put up 10 of them against 10 of the Divine Gauntlets. So it's a 1v1, and then after that, a 10v10. There it is. Okay, the Shadowwalker seems to have grouped up for a more effective strategy, and it's working out for them until the rest of the squad came out, and there it is. Alright, so now we move on to the second unit, which is, for the good faction it's the Celestial Aegis, and for the evil faction it is the Exiled Sentinel. I am going to give the ranged advantage. However, it doesn't seem like the Exiled Sentinel is really budging. However, okay, that's 1 hit, that's 2 hits. Okay, that's 1 match. So point goes to the Exiled Sentinel. Ooh, that was I'm pretty sure that was a dodge, actually. Pretty cool. Okay, yep, the Exiled Sentinel definitely wins like this. Now let's go ahead and make this a 10v10. See how that goes. I do think that the good units are way better when there's a lot of them. Well, that pretty much goes for every faction, but specifically the good units. Okay. Now, yeah, see, now we're seeing some knockback, but at the same time, our Exiled Sentinels are still pushing up and dealing quite a few damage. Yep. That is way 100% where Exiled Sentinels are better. Okay, so now we move on to these guys, the Glaives, and for that it will be the Mad Scientist. Now, of course, the Glaive would probably win this. I mean, yeah, we've got an extreme range advantage, so I don't really feel like I really need to run them, because obviously the range unit is going to win. Now, yes, this is going to be a very interesting battle. We have a Righteous Paladin and have a Void Cultist. These guys are an absolute treat to watch fight. Both of their abilities are so cool. Ooh, that's very good. Shield Bash. Ooh, that's a nice hit. Ooh, that was a strong hit. Nice Shield Bash by the Paladin. It does seem to go a little bit in the Void Cultist's favor a lot of the time. Ooh, but right now it definitely seems like it's going in the Paladin's way. Ooh, that's nice. Ooh, that was a strong hit right to the back of her head. Ooh. We have a nice brawl over here. Ooh. Okay, so the first match goes to a Righteous Paladin. That was nice. Now it's time for the second one. Ooh. Ready to attack. That's a nice Shield Bash. That's another strong hit. Ooh. Okay, seems to me like Wild Cultist had his shield behind his shield. Nice bash. Those are some nice swords. Ooh, that was a nice toss. Ooh, and the hammer right on top of him. Ooh. Yeah, but Righteous Paladin is definitely winning so far, which is very weird. In my experience, a little bit earlier I thought that the Wild Cultist would be a little bit better. Yeah, I mean, let's just go ahead and see if the third time changes anything. Because Tabs is a very luck-based game. Ooh, that was a nice hit by the Wild Cultist. Ooh, that's another nice hit. Ooh, that was a nice throw. Ooh. Yeah, but Righteous Paladin seems to be doing a little bit better. Ooh, that's weird. His shield is strategically positioned. Okay. Ooh, that hammer absolutely sent this Void Cultist to the ground. Ooh, that was a nice wobbling hit. Void Cultist isn't really doing that well. Oh, but he won this time, so yeah. I'm pretty sure it is a 50-50, so let's just go ahead and try this out in a 10v10. Probably should have made it a 5v5, but it doesn't really matter, since this is supposed to be an army situation. I do think that right now the White Cultists duel probably win, because those swords in groups could be very effective. Ooh, those are some nice hits landed by the White Cultist. Ooh. Okay, it's hard to tell if somebody's winning right here, but it does seem to me like Righteous Paladins are doing a little bit better, although maybe that's just from an outside view. Ooh, they are getting kind of packed up right now. However, those hammers are definitely packing them up. Ooh, that one got destroyed. Ooh, yeah, this guy's getting ragdoll. How are Fiends going over? Ooh, over here, Fiends are going a little bit better for White Cultist. Ooh, that was a nice win. Ooh, and they never clash. Okay, the main forces are engaged over here. Yeah, it does seem to me like... Oh, actually, the White Cultists are now winning. Yeah, it's hard to tell. It's 100% going to be a 50-50. Yeah, this is a very even matchup. Ooh. Does seem to me like White Cultist. Okay, that one just got absolutely destroyed, so it's okay, now it's 3-4v1. Yeah, now it's definitely GG's, it's reps. Yeah, this man's absolutely over for him. Yeah, it was pretty close though. Okay, now moving on to the other units over here, which is the Divine Arbiter and the Tempest Lich. These ranged units are going to be pretty awkward, because it's basically a size up to who has better range. And it seems like the Tempest Lich has 100% better range, so yeah, the Tempest Lich probably wins this one. If you control it well, it probably doesn't. This is an actually interesting matchup. Let's give the Elephant Thrower some range. I do think that the Death Bonnier will win, because he can dodge the projectiles, I'm pretty sure, so let's see this. Yep, dodge the projectiles, yep. Oh, and he went in. Up, he's attacking. Those are very rapid fire attacks. Ooh, that was a nice savage hit right in my chest, but the elephant is down, and now this guy is down too. Let's try this one more time. Maybe that was a fluke, although pretty sure that was absolutely GG's. Yep. Ooh, that's so many rapid fire hits. Yeah, this is basically target practice for the Death Bonnier over here. Yep. Ooh, that was absolutely crazy. Look at this battle pose. Okay, I guess we can do a 10v. Actually, let's do a 5v5. I think that will be a little bit less chaotic. Yo. Interested to see how this goes. Oh, wait a second, what am I doing? It's a 5v5. There we go, 5v5. This is going to be really interesting. I still think the Death Bonniers win, even though they could potentially get hit more. They did, but there it is, the attacks are in, and the stabbings have begun. The elephants are, yep, the elephants went down quick. And the Death Bonniers are having an absolute feast today. Okay, there are a couple of elephants still up, but it does seem to me like those elephants are about to go down. Okay, that's weird. They didn't. Let's just try this one more time to see if that was a fluke. Okay, now it's even more of a strong victory. That's very weird. The elephants might go down here. Ooh, oh yeah. For some reason now it doesn't really seem to be going that well for the Death Bonniers. Thinking because it was more projectiles they won. But now it's time for the boss v boss. Now I'm pretty sure that this is like a 90 to 80% win rate, because Chronomancer is way too powerful. The White Monarch is also pretty good, but unfortunately the White Monarch just doesn't really compare to a time freezing potential of a Chronomancer. And yeah, he already transformed faster. Oh my god. This White Monarch didn't even get to transform, that's crazy. Maybe we'll try this one more time. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be that anything's changed. Yeah, Yeah, this is probably going to be the same result. Yeah, that's crazy. Not even close. Maybe if we try to control him, maybe that will work out. Okay, let's try to get him. Maybe we can do something about it. Let's just scam away. No. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's GG. Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. Let's go ahead and still try a 5v5. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and try a 5v10. I generally think that the Chronomancers don't stand that bad of a chance to beat a 5v10. At the end of the day, they are far better than the Void Monarch, so they probably should still, they probably do still got this. Yep, they seem to be doing alright so far. Okay, a couple of them have went down. The Wood Monarchs are probably going to win this, but it was still an interesting experiment to have. Oh, wait, actually a lot of them are dying. Seems to me like we could potentially still have a chance for the Chronomancers to win this. Oh, they actually might. Blue victory, okay. So we almost won. There's pretty much this one dude left. And all the others are pretty much gone. Yeah, I mean, that was pretty interesting. However, that's still not it. We do still have these secret units to look forward to, which isn't a lot. There's only 2 for both of them. There's this guy, which is the Solar Architect, and then there's the Infernal Whip. Now, the Infernal Whip does cost a little bit less, so maybe we should do 2 of them versus the Solar Architect, but we'll see how this fight goes. And clearly it's not going that well, as it seems. Okay, the whip is now in range. Ooh, never mind, the whip still won, even though it was a pretty big disadvantage. How about we try 5v5? Put them nice and close so we have some strong powers over here. Okay, let's see how this goes. Ooh, this seems like it's going very bad for the... Yeah, the Solar Architects are pretty bad at this. Okay, I think this is going to be the end. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.